like button, if you will, say hello. You can also hit the link if you want to come up and talk about it with us. So the link, it will be in the chat. You just hit that link and come on up if you want to share your opinion, if you have questions, whatever it might be. So you guys can just come on up and turn that one down. Come on up. Good evening. Good evening. It is Tuesday is today. Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Come on in. Hit the like button. Say hello. Hey, Harlem. Hey. We got a lot to talk about. The saga continues. The saga continues, and we are here for it. So come on in and let's talk about it. If you want to come up, you're welcome to come up. Don't be shy. You can come up here and talk to us. And hit the like button and all that good stuff, because we're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We're going to continue the conversation about the juror number 7 really quick. I got, just kind of highlight that. We'll go over like the RICO, the bribery. I was listening to what is it? I can tell you. I forget her, but I gotta shout her out because she was like, snag this. You guys need to snag it so it'll remind you. So I snagged it, and I appreciate her. So we're gonna shout out the public opinion, public opinion court. Shout out to her. I think she's a young Black lady, and she is very brilliant. She has another Black lawyer on. I was listening to them just to get other people's intake, especially from a lawyer, to see, what they said. And on public opinion, she just like, I just don't see, okay, if you're going to charge him. But she just doesn't believe in taking a Black man down and taking all of his, his money, his finances that he built around him and just take it and wipe him out. Right. She don't believe in that, but, she talks about a lot of stuff. So, and I was like, whoa, and I was listening to how they look at things. We all have our opinions, and, shout out to her. I'll be following her and watching her and her guest. I did reach out. Hopefully she'll come over here. That's been a little hard getting people over here, but it's just because of the numbers and stuff, but we can get there. We've been there before. We'll get there again. No worries at all. So come on up if you're coming up. But what I'm really going to do is I'm going to just talk about some things and put some things up on the screen so you guys can follow along with me. And then we're going to get into Tyler Perry. We're going to read his lawsuit that Harlem got her hands on. Thank you, Harlem. And we appreciate everything that you do. I promise I do. And I appreciate everybody being here and supporting the channel. I do see that we have about 6-7 people at any time. We only have 3 likes. So if you come in, just go ahead and hit the like button for us so we can stay in the algorithm. We're trying to grow. And so we can only do that with your support, and that is for free. So again, good evening to everybody. So let's just get into it. It's going to be a little bit here reading that. So we just going to go ahead and get started. But I wanted to talk about today in court. Of course, that were inside the courtroom, and I mean every reporter that I usually listen to, reporters I don't listen to, all talked about how the judge walked in that courtroom today and how he came in there with his attitude on his shoulders, because they said normally he's a pleasant judge, and they knew that something was up, something was off with him. And it was about the 7th juror and the information being leaked. So the information was sealed, and somehow, hi, Alberta. Thank you for saying hi to me and being here tonight. We appreciate it. And so So the leak of the seventh juror, okay. So this is what I learned. I didn't realize that he had got the call and he's the one that presented it to the courts. You know, he was, his morals and values and adhering to what he was supposed to do, and anything that was off or wasn't supposed to be happening, he's supposed to report it. And that's what he did. And so then because he reported it, and they talked to him about it, it's like they didn't believe what he was saying, right? Oh, that story doesn't sound good. So basically, juror number 7 allegedly received a text message from someone to his phone, to his or her phone. I don't even know if juror 7 is a she or he, but anyway, to their phone. They were not to it was information that they were not to receive as a juror. So no one should be texting them, talking to them about the court. If you're the juror, if what's going on, none of that. You're not supposed to get that. So he had the integrity and he brought it to the courts. And the judge and what happened is they had talked about it, and the judge had a sealed meeting with both the defendant and the prosecution and the judge, and so that was supposed to be between them and not get leaked. Somehow overnight, this information got leaked. And so at the beginning of this entire trial, because we know, so basically the judge came in and he asked both sides if they knew anything about it. That both sides are saying no. But what is really kind of sticky here is that what's his name? Agnophilia. He asked him, he's like, well, when did you get the information? And they said, those that were in the court said that he kind of stuttered and was like, like he was so shocked. But like, if you got the information and you're abiding by rules and you have your morals, your values and integrity. I got it at 8 o'clock last night and I did nothing with it. I read it. I kept it to myself. Like I didn't do anything, but it felt like he kind of was hesitant. He was in shock, like he was shaking in his boots, like, what am I supposed to say? And so they're leaning toward, the census is that they're leaning towards somebody on the defense side had to have leaked the information. Why do I say that? Why do we say that? Is because the prosecution, they don't want things leaked. They don't want to get things out because they don't want to have to retry, because this right here could really actually end in a mistrial if this juror is dismissed. They could request a mistrial and it could be granted. And so, hey, Terry. And so the prosecution, like, wouldn't, in the perfect world and doing the right thing, the prosecution wouldn't be the ones that want to leak stuff, because guess what? They're going to have to retry the case. They're going to have to hope they can get some of the same witnesses back, because it's like one and done. You get me, you got me, you gave me my immunity. I came and told my story. I'm not going to keep reliving that. So maybe they can't get the witnesses back. So there's no way, if we're looking at stepping back and looking at it, that the prosecution would have allowed this to be leaked. They ain't trying to leak nothing because they're trying to get a conviction, right? On the defense side, and what somebody's logic is that brought to my attention, I don't know. I'm just saying what I heard, and I'm sharing it with y'all. Okay, we're gonna put it like that. And everything we say here is allegedly. So what happened is earlier, so we know that Martin Garrigos is tied to Teeny Garrigos. That's his daughter, right? On the defense side. Martin Garrigos is also attached to TMZ, Two Angry Men, right? And the judge had given direct information to Mark about how he moves. They were saying the judge at the beginning of the trial warned Mark about some of his reporting because it could have an effect. It could and would have an effect to taint the jury pool. And the judge has stood on that. He has always stood on that. So I wanted to show you guys. So the only people that are reporting like big outlets, right, is reporting this Juror 7 incident is TMZ, Mirror USA, and Oklahoma Magazine. They are the only outlets reporting on this, a trio that is all linked together. They're all linked together, right? And so, hey, Bridget.
Hi.
Hi. So, thank you for being here.
Yep.
And so, if you look at it, Mark Garagos, who is the host at TMZ's Two Angry Men podcast, and was explicitly warned by the judge to halt public commentary during the trial, they're side eyeing him, right? The judge criticized Garagos and defense team members, warning that the dual exposure as courtroom participants and media commentators is unacceptable, and any further leaks could result in contempt of court. So the logic behind this is what they're saying, right? Is that um is that possibly, y'all, this is alleged, this is just hearsay, okay? Possibly Mark could have seen the fact that Teeny and them are kind of losing this race right now. And this is his daughter, and she needs to shine. And in the past, Mark has allegedly done some crazy stuff in the past to win cases, pull some strings. So, did Mark Garagos have anything to do with this leaking of the information? Is the question at hand. Did Harlem come up yet? Okay, maybe not. So, with knowing that he is a part of the Two Angry Men, Teeny Garagos is his daughter. Mirror USA and Oklahoma Magazine were the only outlets reporting it. What are you guys' thoughts? How do you think Mark Garagos could have played a part in this? So that's the question. You can put it in the chat or whatever. So that was one point that we made. And then, okay, Harlem, come on, girl. And while she's coming up, thank you everybody for being here. Hit the like button. We're gonna talk about it tonight. Did I take Bridget down? I took you down, Bridget. I didn't mean to do that. And so anyway, I want to hear what, I don't know, Bridget, if you've been following this or if you been following it today and what has taken place. But my question is, Harlem, hey Harlem, is pretty much I'm asking what you think about it, Harlem.
Hey, I was giving you a chance because I thought that you was doing Tyler first,
No, I was
the
gonna do that after
lawsuit.
I kind of highlighted these things.
Okay. So they said it was a sealed courtroom Friday, right? So it was just the defense and the prosecution. I'm wondering, was Mark in there at the time that it was sealed? But I think that it was the defense, because the defense is the one that, when Mia testified, if you remember, they played a video or whatever, and it had some of her information in it.
Yes.
And then they was like, oh, we got to take it down. We
Yes.
have to do further redacting. So they've been leaking things.
Which is why, if we had to come to a conclusion, and this is all just opinion, and again, knowing what we know, that the prosecution would not want to leak anything because they're trying to get a conviction. And anytime this happens, like it's happening, they can call it a mistrial. If this person gets released, they can call or request a mistrial just on the fact that the jury pool has been tainted. So they can request another mistrial, and it could be granted on those bases, on those grounds. So the jury is not trying to mess with the jury. I mean, the prosecution is not trying to mess with the jury. They're not trying to leak information. Who else was in the room? It was the prosecution and the defense. So somebody on Brian Steele's team needs to cough it up. If they did it, and the reason I say they need to just go ahead and say, because the judge is like, I need to get to the bottom of this. Like, he's adamant about this. He's pissed off, and he's adamant about like who did this, and y'all are lying. He said somebody in here is lying. And so it kind of makes me feel like he thinks it too, but I don't know. Everybody is saying it has to be the defense. I just had to bring why my reasons why I think it is possibly the defense. So there you have it. And so what does this mean? They, of course, can, like I said, request a mistrial, because it could basically affect the whole jury pool. Like it could be deemed tainted due to the incident. And if this juror is let go, I do believe that they will submit for a mistrial. Now, the reason that the judge that it probably they can submit it like they've done all the other mistrials, but because they have alternates, it probably won't. The mistrial probably wouldn't be granted, but it's still a tainted pool. That's how you can look at it. What else? So yeah, the big ask is just like who did it, and if whoever did it, if you did it, Mark, allegedly, and you tell it, like you could be in contempt of court and possibly do some time for it. The judge said this is a criminal, this is contempt of court, this is a criminal act. So that's kind of scary, knowing that the judge is looking into it. He ain't playing. He's mad about it. He said this whole thing could affect the entire trial. No one wants to go back a whole 5-6 weeks and start over because somebody couldn't keep the information to themselves. And then knowing that possibly I can't get these witnesses back, that I've done it, because it's just a one and done thing. Like I said earlier, I gave you my story. I'm not coming back. I have a family. I have this going on. I don't have time to stop everything and come and be a witness all over again. So that is the problem. So the judge wants to get to the bottom of it. He has threatened to take their phones, and figure out, who actually did this. And he was like, it better not happen again. So when he said it better not happen again, I thought maybe, they're kind of investigating it. They just going to kind of move on. But if something is leaked again, it's on and popping. He's going to go there. I think today the defense took some L's today, all the way around. They took losses today with the summary, with this jury stuff. I just think they took some L's. Yeah. So that's that on the jury. What else you got on the jurors, number 7? Bridget, are you aware of any of this?
No, I've been getting ready for Oklahoma, so I haven't watched TV. I haven't done anything. Today's my
I
first
told them
day. I've been,
you was getting ready to travel. So
yep.
all right.
So I got everything ready. So I haven't seen nothing, but I saw that about the what you was talking about earlier about the defense, and only thing I said it was defense too, because they getting their butt beat. Lord, I mean, I'm just saying they took the
Yeah, at
whole,
this point.
and so they got to go all kind of sneaky. They got to get some stuff to come back up, girl. They getting hammered in court.
Yep. Hey, everybody in the chat. Hey, everybody that's in here. If I haven't said hi to you, good evening. Thank you for being here. Hit the like, and we're gonna keep it pushing. So this right here, shout out to the public opinion court as well. So she kind of broke this down here, and I do have to put my glasses on for this one. So she did a legal breakdown of the Diddy case, the RICO federal crimes and pattern of racketeering. And she started with the requirements. So she says Sean Combs Enterprise is a formal business entity, right? Acts committed at Diddy's instruction or with his consent to protect his image, right? So he was not actually doing the crime; he was having them to do it. And then, so it's not big enough for me. How do I get it bigger? This is how I get it bigger. Okay. Must show 2 or more qualifying predicate acts. So that's what she was saying, and she said the bribery is one. He offered hotel staff $100K to suppress the incident. Is that what it said? Yeah, to suppress incident. The ask alone is bribery, is what she's saying.
Mm.
Okay, this came from the public court of a public opinion, the two attorneys that are on there. And then she said witness tampering. Witness tampering was the hotel worker was paid off in silence to protect his brand. So that was the common goal always, was to protect his brand, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then narcotic transport for prostitution, make escorts, male escorts were flown to cities for X with Cassie. All
Mm.
right. And so the
Mm.
RICO summary, the X trafficking. Wait a minute, where are we? Narcotics. Is that where I'm at? Yeah, narcotics distribution, assistance obtained. I have to look over here, y'all. It's too little for me. Can you see it? Can y'all see that?
No, it's little.
Yeah, it's little. Let me go over here. Assistance. Which one is that one? Okay, here we go. This is better. So transport, narcotics, we did that. Forced labor was the musicians coerced into long hours using rugs. So they was how they talked about being up 24, 48, 5 days. That was the forced
Mm-hmm.
labor. The kidnapping was confirmed employee after HR reported 80K owed to the confined employee after HR reported $80,000 owed to overtime. So that
Wow.
was the um, kidnapping. Yep, that's right. And then the arson, preliminary claims awaiting proof linking to Diddy. So they're not. So what she's saying here is that they say that it was Diddy and he was there, but they haven't really proved that Diddy actually did it to the car, put the bomb in there, did it. And what throws it off also is the female fingerprints. And then the X trafficking, multiple allegations pending proof of testimonies, which we've had that. So the RICO summary, the enterprise is Sean Combs Enterprises. The agreements is acts committed to serve Diddy's rage and control. I think that's what it is. And then the pattern was the bribery, the tampering, and the trafficking. He had a pattern of doing that. And the other pattern was the bribery, tampering, trafficking, rugs, labor, and kidnapping. So that was her analysis of how they got to the RICO. And I agree. I agree with this. I agree with this file right here that she created. Shout out to her. That was good. How she just complained, she just kind of put it together. And this is just what we were saying too, right, Harlem? These things, some of these things is what we were already talking about. Is why we
Right.
felt, yeah. So let me move on. There's one more I want to show y'all, and then we can move on to Tyler Perry.
But Bridget, do you see the Rico now? Because you weren't so on the Rico. You thought that it wasn't.
Yeah, I saw the Rico yesterday.
Oh,
Yesterday, you
okay.
couldn't
Yesterday.
yesterday, but yeah,
Yes. I saw the Rico yesterday. I said, Lord, Rico yesterday.
yep, it happened
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, that's when I saw the Rico. I put it all together yesterday. I said, yeah.
Yeah, you got to say
Shoot.
yeah to that.
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah, and then she said, just this is always can be used as a refresher, right? If you ain't understanding how, what went on, just look at this. Take a look at this. So all the witnesses' names, Edie Garcia was the hotel worker. Associated crimes was the bribery, accepted 30K to destroy the video footage in the Intercontinental Hotel. He signed the NDA to conceal evidence. And then the manager received 50K. KK, the chief of staff, facilitated the bribe. Ooh, she got that. Then the punisher was the ex-worker, paid to engage in non-consensual freak-offs with Cassie, $1,200 per event, 6 or 7 total. Kid Cudi, he was a witness. He victim of threats. They burglarized his home, and the arson, the vehicle fire following the burglary, right?
Yeah.
Here comes Brendan Paul tomorrow. He showed up. Brendan showed up. He said, what would you like to do? He said, I plead the fifth. They said, we'll offer you the immunity. But if we offer you this immunity, you got to testify and you got to tell the truth. He said, I'll take the immunity. So Brendan Paul will be the rug mule. He's the one that purchased drugs and he facilitated the freak offs. And it was also stated in those messages that the summary that they've been giving us this week, right? With the summaries. And then the responding officer, Kid Cudi incident, identified Diddy's business car vehicle license via license plate and Kid Cudi burglary report. Yep. Then the forensics detective confirmed the arson, found destroyed fingerprints. Incident occurred in close proximity to Kid Cudi's burglary. Dr. Hughes, who they were trying to get back, provided psychological insight into coercion, entrapment, manipulation, and control. And that was her coming with her expertise, telling us why victims act the way they act, how they're easily manipulated and coerced. And then her testimony reinforced government's burden of proof of trafficking and racketeering. And then Derek Ferguson, he confirmed Diddy's LLC, the corporate structure, identified cash flow irregularities and untracked transfers, money laundering and fraud, and confirmed Diddy directed all financial operations and commingled personal and business funds. So he took some of his personal money and his business money, and they commingled that and was doing freak offs and buying rugs and paying escorts. You don't see people got to tell me how they don't see a RICO with that. That's black and white. There's no gray areas. There's no gray areas here. So I just want y'all to see that. What you thinking? What's your thoughts?
I agree to it all.
I mean, how can you not when it's black and white like that? And that's exactly, and then what topped it off was the summary where they had the text messages, they had the video recordings, right? That now it's for real, not hearsay. You hear his own voice telling them, like the flight on Friday at 4, you heard him say, you confirmed that. You know, you see text messages back and forth. You see KK all in the middle of it. It confirmed it yesterday. Him and KK, if nobody else, are the enterprise. But him, KK, D-Rock, all of them, they're the enterprise. That's why we are not hearing from KK. She is a co-defendant. He said, hey, sir, I'm going through a mental crisis. I'm not my normal self tonight. May I please get it? Oh, yes. Go take some time. Do you, Montana? Sorry to hear that. But go take care of yourself. It's okay. You don't have to come every night. We know what you've been through. So it's all good. So that's that on that. I really feel like those were some good examples, how she went and she put that together. And then she freely was like, you can take a snapshot. She should have told me that. I was like, okay, we're going to share this tonight with my peeps. And it makes sense. And then, you know, if you're a person that is visual and you need to see it, like we can say it all day, but I need to also see it. Then that was your visual right there, how she put that together. So again, shout out to the attorney at what did I say? She's new to me, so I'm sorry about that. Public opinion court. Yeah. So now let's move on. Again, you guys, thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button. Let me see how many likes we got. If everybody would take a minute to hit the like button, I would appreciate it. We getting there. We're getting there with the likes. I appreciate it. So, all right, let's move on to Tyler Perry. Oh my gosh, y'all. So if y'all know, if you guys are familiar, I hate that for Montana. If y'all are familiar with Christian, what's his last name?
Keys.
Christian Keys. Christian Keys came out and he was going all around. My internet is messing up. I don't know why. Oh, with Storm in here too. That's probably why. But Christian Keys came out and he came and he kind of teased us, right? He was like, there is this billionaire guy that tried to make a pass at him that he worked with, and tried to make a pass at him. He's a male billionaire, black man, try to make a pass at him, try to, get him to do things that he's not with, right? And just kept violating him over and over. And he said he has so many days or whatever to make it right, or whatever he said, or he's going to drop the receipts. And then he came back and he just kept teasing us like, he getting ready to spill it. Then all of a sudden he just disappears, right? He worked with Tyler Perry and he wrote all
the Queensmen.
All the Queensmen. He wrote all the Queensmen with Tyler Perry, right? So he wrote it, he worked with Tyler Perry, whatever. And so everybody was just, when we hear the story, the conclusion is you're saying a black billionaire. Well, we know it ain't a whole bunch of male black billionaires in the industry, right? So you working directly with Tyler Perry, and everything he was saying just pointed to Tyler Perry. But he just went away and it was just over. So, and then he started working with Tyler Perry again. So people figure, allegedly, all this is alleged, is that Tyler Perry saw what was happening. He went, they had a conversation, and he made it right. Tyler Perry made it right for it to go away and for him to stop talking. He hushed him. And so he didn't say anything again about it. And so now we're coming out with, is that somebody trying to get in? Let me see. And what's so crazy is I just did the short on Tyler Perry because I was shouting out Taraji P. Henson on the good job that she did on Straw. It was Tyler Perry. She bragged on him so much about how he's so good to his people. He makes sure you got everything you need. And then today we get this. So Tyler Perry is being sued for SA by an Oval actor that claims years of harassment and more. And this guy is Derek. What's his last name? Derek Dixon. So Derek Dixon. Oh, it's Bridget's probably too. Her internet. Derek Dixon filed a lawsuit against Perry. And in the documents, he claims he and the director met at an event back in 2019. And in Derek's word, Tyler picked him out of the crowd and asked for his phone number, suggesting that he might have a role for him. So we're gonna read his lawsuit. So it says Jonathan J. Okay, those are all the law offices. That's his lawyer. And then this is the plaintiff is Derek Dixon, which is the actor, in the Oval. And in this, he talks all about, how Tyler says if people get on his nerves or they're not doing what he wants, that he will shoot them off. They'll get shot and they'll be off the show. They'll kill him. Kills them off the show. So here's everything right here. The first page of the lawsuit in the Superior Court of California, the County of Los Angeles, unlimited jurisdiction. Which because he probably shot the films in Atlanta. So plaintiff Derek Dixon files his complaint against defendant Tyler Perry, Emmett Perry, aka Emmett Perry, TPS Production Services, and Action LLC, together defendants alleging as follows. The following complaint is pled on information and belief. The case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace SA, assault, and retaliation perpetrated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against plaintiff Derek Dixon, a professional actor and screenwriter. Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, actually exploitive dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating actual harassment, assault, and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, and while Mr. Perry held direct control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunities. Tyler Perry rose against all odds to become one of the powerful figures in the entertainment industry. His success story, once a symbol of perseverance and self-made achievement, has now become a cautionary tale of how unchecked power, wealth, and influence can corrupt those who attain it. Among other contracts, Perry received a lucrative multi-year partnership with the Oprah Winfrey Network, and his net worth tops at 1.36 billion. You hear me? 1.36 billion. Tyler Perry's rise to fame and fortune elevated from a powerless victim to a figure of tremendous wealth, influence, and power, culminating in the ownership of his own film studio. Rather than using his influence responsibly, Tyler Perry has engaged in a pattern of misconduct where he explained his position of power, where he exploited his position of power. Tyler Perry has been using his power influence to molest, abuse, and actually assault impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look to him for guidance and membership, while pursuing their dreams. Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Alice, and many other in the industry, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. That belief slowly transformed into the false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants. There are things in life that money cannot buy. Mr. Perry sought the one thing his wealth and influence could not purchase, an actual relationship with a man who would remain silent. Perry told Mr. Dixon that his ideal relationship would involve a male actual partner who he could provide for and who would be loyal but emotionally detached. Wow. Perry told Dixon, whoever ends up with me is going to be a happy MF. In essence, Mr. Perry desired a one-sided coercive dynamic with a subordinate, an arrangement devoid of mutual consent and emotional reciprocity. Thus began Perry's calculated pursuit of Mr. Dixon. This was not Mr. Perry's first instance of actual exploitation. He has demonstrated a troubling pattern of exploiting vulnerable male actors and employees, leveraging his industry power to create a cycle of hope and dependency. First, he offers aspiring actors the prospect of career-defining opportunities, roles that promise visibility and advancement. Then, once they are in his professional orbit, he uses the weight of his influence to ensure them, positioning their success as contingent on meeting his demands in a quid pro quo actual compromise. This pattern of behavior reveals a calculated use of professional power of actual leverage. Using his influence, Mr. Perry provided vulnerable men with acting positions, roles, show contracts, cars, and money. Once the object of the desire was hooked, Tyler Perry would then put them in fear of losing it all unless they engaged in Mr. Perry's perverted desire for actual gratification. Mr. Perry would easily unalive a character in a show of actor in a show of an actor who failed to indulge Perry's actual fantasies. So now every time I see his show and somebody's killed off, somebody's unalive, I'm going to be thinking about, is did he try something and they wasn't with it? Um, in one of such such exchange, Perry stated that he could fix things because the actors of a show he was filming should all be scared because they were all they were all unalive, and we don't know who. Oh, they were all bang banged, pow powed, but we don't know who lives. Meaning that Tyler was going to use this as a tool to gain compliance with his desires. And so I can't see that text message. But this is proof right here that he's given us. I gotta pull that up. I gotta be able to see that. Let me go back over here. Just a minute, y'all. Um, that's not it. Come on, come on, come on. Mm-mm-mm. I can't pull it up, but anyway, I'll keep going. I'll come back to this. But in the text message below, it says, "Why did that photo make me what?"
I could read them. You want me to read them? Hey, if you guys can hear me, Faces says she lost power. She's going to try to come back later and finish up with the Tyler Perry lawsuit. Y'all have a good evening.